All right, welcome back everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
Today we're going to dig into the history of a pretty amazing medieval fortress, Château Gaillard over in France.
Built by Richard the Lionheart himself.
Oh yeah. We've got some great source material for this one too. Excerpts from a historical text really dives into the castle's construction, the sieges it faced, even the interesting tactic that brought it down.
Should be a good one.
Definitely. We're talking ambition, rivalry, military ingenuity, the whole package. This castle was a big deal.
Oh, it absolutely was. Not just a fortress, more like a statement, Really embodies the ambition, the rivalry, all that. Even shows us how much military architecture was changing back then.
So let's start with the guy who built it, Richard I, Richard the Lionheart. Legendary figure. But what made him so legendary?
Well, he was known for being incredible on the battlefield. Real charisma, too. Inherited a ton of land in France from his father, needed a stronghold to keep it safe. That's where Château Gaillard comes in.
Makes sense.
8-foot thick walls, 17 towers, a moat, get this, 45 feet deep. I mean, that's not messing around. Showed off some real innovation in military tech, too, like those concentric defenses, made it a nightmare to attack.
Yeah, I can see why they called it the saucy castle, full of swagger.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of confidence, there's that famous story about Richard and his rival, Philip Augustus of France.
Oh, yeah, the steel versus butter exchange. Classic.
What was it exactly?
Well, Philip, always trying to grab more power, he supposedly said he'd take that castle even if its walls were made of iron.
Bold.
And Richard, never one to back down, he shot back saying he'd hold it, even if the walls were butter.
Talk about a power move. I mean, you can really see how these medieval rulers thought, right, castles were everything.
Oh, totally, like status symbols, as important as the land they controlled almost.
But it's also personal, right? This wasn't just land, it was egos clashing.
Exactly, you hit the nail on the head there. It's all about one-upmanship. And that rivalry, well, it really shaped the castle's fate. When Richard died in 1199, his brother, King John, took the throne.
And King John, not quite the military mastermind his brother was, right?
That's putting it mildly.
Historians don't seem to be as big as fans.
For good reason. John made some big mistakes. He managed to make enemies of his own barons, led to rebellions, weakened his defenses, plus he underestimated Philip. Didn't send enough reinforcements to Château Gaillard.
So Philip saw his chance, and if I remember right, he went for